It all started like any other day. The sun hadn't fully risen yet. My coffee steamed quietly on the kitchen counter. Everything seemed normal, but I didn't know how wrong normal could be. Life felt predictable. Bills, work, small victories, little defeats. And my sister, Olivia, she moved through the house with that familiar ease, smiling, laughing, asking about my day. I thought she was just being the sister I always knew. I never imagined that same sister could destroy everything I'd worked for. Behind those smiles, behind that warmth, a secret was growing. A secret that would shatter the life I thought I had built, that I had been saving for years. $50,000. Not a fortune, but enough to finally feel safe. Enough to pay off debts. Save for a house. Maybe finally start living instead of just surviving. I never thought money could betray me. I never thought a family member could. At first it was small things. A notification from my bank. Payment processed. Strange. I didn't remember making it. Another alert. Another unknown withdrawal. My stomach sank a little more each time. I told myself it must be a glitch. Banks make mistakes, right? But mistakes don't happen over and over. Patterns do. Patterns don't hide in plain sight, unless the person you trust most is hiding them. I noticed Olivia asking subtle questions about my finances. Do you still have your emergency fund? She'd ask casually. Have you checked your balance today? Innocent? Or so they seemed. At the time I laughed it off. Foolish, I know now. Then came the first real sign. I logged into my account one night, expecting the familiar numbers I had memorized over months. But something was off. A withdrawal, a large one. $7,500. My heart froze. I checked the date, the time, the transaction code. Nothing made sense. The money hadn't gone to a vendor, a bill, a subscription. And then it clicked. The one person with my trust in every way was Olivia. I remember staring at the screen for what felt like hours. Heart pounding. Mind spinning. How could my own sister take something I worked so hard for, something I saved to feel safe, and more than that, why? I didn't confront her immediately. I had to be sure. I had to watch. Pay attention to every word, every gesture, every moment she thought I wasn't looking. And slowly, the truth started to unravel. It wasn't just one withdrawal. Months of secret transfers. Late night emails. Code words and texts. Small amounts testing the waters, before the full $50,000 vanished. And Olivia, she smiled at me every morning, pretending nothing had changed. But then I realized something even scarier than the theft. She wasn't just stealing money, she was stealing trust. She was rewriting the story of our lives together. And I had to decide, would I let this slide, or would I confront the storm she had created? I couldn't sleep that night. Not a wink. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw those numbers. $7,500 staring back at me from the screen. My mind raced. Could I have made a mistake? Could the bank be wrong? But deep down, I knew. I knew it wasn't a mistake. The next morning, I acted normal. Olivia laughed over breakfast, chatting about her plans, the latest TV show, some harmless gossip. I smiled back, but every word she said felt calculated. Every laugh rehearsed. My stomach twisted. Could she feel that I suspected her, or was that just paranoia? I started checking my account obsessively. Every alert, every notification, every tiny transaction. Slowly, a pattern emerged. Small withdrawals first, then bigger ones. Each one carefully timed. Each one designed not to raise alarm. I remembered the little questions she asked about my finances. Do you still have your emergency fund? Have you checked your balance today? Innocent. Except now they weren't. They were tools. Probes. Ways to see how much I knew. How alert I was. And the more I watched, the more I realized she wasn't clumsy. She was smart. She was careful. She was cruel. I caught her glancing at my phone one evening, pretending to reach for the sugar. Her eyes flicked to the screen like she was reading my thoughts. My heart slammed. Every move she made suddenly felt like a test. Every smile, every casual comment. Could it hide another lie? I tried to tell myself I was imagining things. But deep down, I knew. I had to be careful. I had to know the full truth before I made a mistake. Because once you confront someone you love and trust, there's no going back. And then came the night I found the first real proof. Hidden in a string of emails, cleverly disguised transfers, a pattern so clear it made my blood run cold. Someone had been siphoning money for months. Tiny amounts, just enough to go unnoticed at first. Testing the waters. Then the big withdrawals. Every cent of my $50,000 traced back to one person. I sat back in my chair, trembling. My hands felt cold. My chest was tight. I had proof. Proof that she had betrayed me in the worst way imaginable. The money was gone. $50,000. My sense of security. My trust. Stolen. And as I stared at the screen, a thought hit me. What would I do now? How do you confront someone you love, someone you've trusted your entire life, when the betrayal is this deep? I realized something terrifying. This wasn't just about money anymore. It was about control. About trust. About rewriting the narrative of our lives without me even realizing it. And if I acted too soon, if I confronted her without being ready, I could lose everything, not just the money. So I waited. I gathered every shred of evidence, planning my move carefully. Because when the time came, there would be no second chances. No missteps. Only the truth laid bare. And she would have nowhere to hide. I couldn't shake the feeling of being trapped in a storm I hadn't seen coming. Every smile from Olivia felt like a mask, every word like a test. The proof was in my hands, yet the thought of confronting her filled me with dread. I started planning. Carefully. Methodically. Every step had to be calculated. One wrong move and she could deny everything. One wrong move and I could lose not just the money but my sense of self, my family, everything I thought I knew. I began rehearsing in my mind what I would say. Not once, not twice, but over and over. How would I start? Calm, accusatory. Should I let her speak first, or hit her with the evidence immediately? My mind replayed scenarios like a broken record. Every day I watched her. Every glance, every tone, every hesitation became a clue. Sleep became impossible. My mind churned with fear, anger, and disbelief. I remembered the trust one had placed in her. And now, shattered, I started thinking strategically. When I confronted her, I needed witnesses. I needed documentation. I needed everything lined up so that there was no escape, no manipulation, no lies. Finally, I made my decision. I would confront her. But I would do it on my terms. Every piece of evidence laid bare. Every lie exposed. Every betrayal accounted for. And when the storm hit, there would be no turning back. The day finally came. I could feel it in my chest, heavy and relentless. Every step toward Olivia felt like walking on glass. Fragile, dangerous, and impossible to turn back from. Sitting at the kitchen table, sipping coffee, humming softly. Innocent. Perfectly calm. Every instinct screamed at me, she's guilty. Don't hold back. But I forced myself to breathe. To stay in control. To let the storm hit when the time was right. Olivia, I said, my voice steady but quiet. We need to talk. Her head tilted slightly. A small, curious smile. About what? She asked, like I was overreacting. I took a deep breath, letting the silence stretch heavy. Then I laid it out. Every withdrawal. Every transfer. Every suspicious message. Every tiny thing she thought she had hidden. I didn't shout. I didn't plead. I let the evidence speak. Her smile faltered. Just for a moment. And then she laughed. A light, nervous laugh. That's ridiculous. You're imagining things. I shook my head. Look at this. Look at every single transaction. Every message. Every code word. You think I wouldn't notice? You think I wouldn't find out? Her eyes flashed, a flicker of panic hidden behind a practiced mask. I don't know what you mean, she said, voice tight. I leaned in closer. Come. Cool. $50,000, Olivia. My money. My trust. Gone. And you think you can smile and pretend this isn't real? For the first time I saw it. Crack. A hesitation. She swallowed hard, her fingers fidgeting with the edge of her cup. It's not what you think. she whispered that I felt my anger flare, sharp and dangerous. Not what I think, Olivia, I traced it all. Every cent, every withdrawal. You planned this. You tested me. You stole from me. My sister. My family. How could you? She looked away, voice breaking now. I needed it. I didn't mean to. I thought I could pay it back. Her words hit me like ice. The betrayal was real. The manipulation was real. And suddenly, everything we had shared felt like a lie. I wanted to scream. To hit something. To make her feel the weight of what she had done. But I stayed calm. I had my proof. I had the power. And now, the next steps were mine to decide. The days after the confrontation felt surreal. Every glance from Olivia carried weight. Every word hung heavy in the air. Our lives had shifted in an instant. Family dinners became quiet affairs. The laughter we once shared was gone, replaced by tension so thick I could almost touch it. My parents sensed something, but the truth was mine alone to hold. I replayed the confrontation over and over in my mind. Her eyes. Her hesitation. The moment I realized she wasn't just lying to me, she was lying to herself too. I felt anger clawing at my chest, fear that she might take it further, and guilt for feeling betrayed by my own sister. The $50,000 was gone. But the real loss was trust. Years of memories, secrets, love, all tainted that I thought about the future. Legal action, cutting ties. Could I even forgive her? Could I move past this? Or would this theft define our relationship forever? Olivia tried to apologize. Small gestures, quiet murmurs of, "I'm sorry." But apologies didn't erase months of planning, months of lies. I realized I had to protect myself first. Boundaries. Clear, unbreakable boundaries. Time passed, but the wound remained fresh. Every day, I carried the memory of betrayal like a shadow. Shadows fade, and I realized it was time to take control. To decide how this story would end. Not Olivia, not the money, but me. That I secured my finances. Every account, every card, every password. Nothing left exposed. Then came the harder decision: what to do about her. Legal action, forgiveness, boundaries. I confronted her one last time. Not with rage, not with accusations, but with clarity. "You've done irreparable damage," I said. "But I choose how to move forward. I choose the boundaries. I choose my life." Her shoulders slumped. Tears threatened. She whispered, "I'm sorry. I truly am." I nodded. And for the first time in months I felt a weight lift. Not because everything was fixed, nothing could undo what happened, but because I reclaimed my power. My narrative. Trust would be earned again, slowly, cautiously, if at all. I rebuilt my security, my finances, my life. And I held on to a lesson I would never forget: love and trust are fragile. They can be shattered in an instant, but strength, clarity, and self-respect, those are mine to keep. Months have passed since the storm. The house feels quieter now. Not empty, but different. Every corner carries a memory, of trust, of laughter, and now, of betrayal. I've learned to live with it, to carry the lessons behind it. I've rebuilt my life. My boundaries are firm, my sense of self stronger than ever. And yet, a part of me still remembers. Aches for the sister I thought I knew. Trust is like glass. Once shattered, it can be pieced together, but it's never the same. Each crack is a memory, a warning, a lesson etched into the surface, visible to anyone who chooses to look. Olivia is still in my life, but our relationship has changed. Forgiveness, if it comes, will be slow. That's okay. Trust isn't given freely. It's earned. The $50,000 was never just money. It was a test. A test of trust, resilience, and self-preservation. Though it hurt, I survived. Stronger. Wiser. Awake. Life goes on. But the lessons remain. And perhaps one day they'll protect not just me, but anyone willing to see the truth, even when it hurts. Because some betrayals leave wounds that never fully heal. But from those wounds, we can grow.